love that sound. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna do a very interesting experiment here today. The point of this video is to let you guys make up your mind regarding the high torque motor, which is in stock now, the high speed motor. So this is a GT charger that comes with the GT, and it's $110, and it's all plastic, no cooling fan. And this is the Funwheel fast charger, 5 amp charger. So it's not really fast. It used to be 5 amp used to be fast 5 years ago when they made these stupid 2 amp chargers. This is a slow charger. So 5 amp now with the current battery technology is just like a medium fast charger. So that's why we opted for a 5 amp charger, because we want to give you the best in terms of charging time versus battery life, if you know what I mean, right? If you go too fast, so if you do a 7 amp, 8 amp, 10 amp charger, that would degrade your battery very fast, right? But if you do a 2 amp charger, it'll take an hour to charge your 20S battery. So we went for a, also it's fully aluminum encased, beautiful black anodized. It's got a very big ass cooling fan on it. And I can feel the fan blowing air on my hand. And I turned off because the battery is full. Now, why is the battery full? It's on a purpose, because we are gonna see the free spin top speeds of the GT, the high speed Superflux, and the high torque Superflux at full charge. That's very important. So they're all fully charged. That's why it shut off after 5 seconds. I'm gonna, okay. All right, let's see the GT's top speed. So this full charged, it's 99%. I don't know if you can see it. All right. So, oh, sounds like a donkey. So it's about, so I changed everything to miles per hour for my American friends, right? So 38 miles per hour is GT free spin top speed at full charge, right? Let's move on to the high speed Superflux. So let me go to my VESC tool, connect, and I should be go to real-time data, and let me press the sensors. All right, speed is in miles per hour. Just keep it here. So now this is without field weakening, and if you don't know what is field weakening, we're going to talk about it in a while. So without field weakening, the OG Superflux high speed is about 40 miles an hour right out of the box, right? And if you add field weakening to it, it goes like, 60 miles an hour. So that's the OG Superflux. So if you want very high speed, beat the GT out of the box and then have field weakening to just insane speed, I've shown that in one of my previous videos as well, then you go for the Superflux high speed motor. Now this is on a 20S battery, which is 85 volts, right? Same here, this one is on a 20S battery, but you notice there is no controller box, so that's on purpose. I'm gonna get my beautiful purple. So this is what you do when you get your box. You just slide it in, slide your battery and charger and the reverse light in, right? And from this side, you get your motor connector in, and connect your charge port, connect your battery port, and the reverse light goes here, then should be able to just turn it on. So before we proceed with the test of the high torque motor, I just want to get this GT out of the way, but I just want to show you the rails are powder coated because they are not CNC cast, rather, right? Cast aluminum, which makes them really, really cheap and really, really coarse, right? The surface is not good. And that's the reason the surface is not edgy anymore, like the XR, because XR used to be milled CNC'd, right? So it was so edgy and cool, but this one is more curvy because edges don't come out really good casting. So they cast it and then they powder coated it, and you can see the finish is really, really coarse and bad looking. Look at this motor adapter, and the shaft is so big. That's why they break. Just a little bit of copper down here, and the rest is just the shaft. So yeah. Now here's what we do. Look at all those beautiful edges that we have, and the rails are CNC'd, and they're under a CNC machine for hours and hours and hours. And then we get this beautiful anodized finish. Even if you have powder coated finish like the yellow we had, still looks beautiful because of all the sharp edges that we got. And even though these rails are old and bashed. Anyway, let's get to the point of the video. So we saw the free spin of the high-speed motor without field weakening, and it beat the GT out of the box. Now this is the high torque motor, and I've just put the controller and got a little felony thing going on here. And thanks to Mitch for working on the lights. So I'm gonna put the lid on, and my God, this lid is not for somebody like me with greasy fingers. Get this dirty. So the lid goes on. All right, so once you got the box set up, you have the front LED, status LED, and you have your foot pads connected here. There's some guards on both sides that'll prevent any splashing or mud to get into the connect. All right, so we've got the phone set up here, and it's giving me some warnings. I think the high voltage warning because it's not set up correctly in float config. So I'm going to go to specs, I think, and move the high voltage threshold to 85 because I'm using a 20S battery, so a little above 25, maybe 26. Sorry, 86. Right, and now it should be good. And I purposely made this slower so that you can see the transition. You can see the LED bar move from green to yellow to red. Okay, now you'll hear how smooth the SKF bearings are. You might hear a little bit of noise because it's on the table, so it's going to vibrate a little bit. And you can see the LED shine through the opaque glass. It's going to be transparent in the final version. So you get 32 miles an hour top speed without any field weakening on the high torque motor. This is free spin. Of course, when you are riding on it, it's going to be a little lower. We're going to talk about that. But let's bring field weakening into the mix. So I'm going to go to FOC, go to field weakening, and you should proceed with caution when you're using field weakening, because if you have an old battery, it can sag a lot. It could be dangerous. So I'm going to have 30 amps of field weakening, which is very, very basic that you can do. And everything else I'm going to leave it as default. So right config, go to real-time data. So remember we had about 30 miles an hour, I think, without field weakening. So let's see. I love that sound. So if you use 30 amps of field weakening on the high torque motor, you could equal the GT's speed. So now I'm going to go and make field weakening 45 amps. Let's blow shit up. Again, you can keep increasing field weakening, but you're going to have diminishing returns because that's just how the field weakening works. So the point is, the high torque with 30 amps field weakening would equal the speed of a GT. And you can do more field weakening if you use a 20S battery, especially people who are building high voltage builds. The high torque is the perfect motor for you if you're building a 20 plus S build. The high torque motor should be perfect for it. So anyway, it is riding weather outside, so let's go outside for a ride and see how the high torque. It's a beautiful sunset right next to the beach, and running my high torque motor on the Thor 300, and you can see the MOSFET temps are at a cool, whoa, I had to bail, but all's good. Riding the Thor, Thor is at a cool 32, motor is at running at 10 miles an hour, and I usually just do 15 like so. We're still at only 50% duty cycle, no field weakening on a 20S battery. But if you want something really fast, brake speed records, then you need the HS. You gotta wait for it. But look at me, man, cruising at 15-20 miles an hour. Let me try to go 20. My old bones won't be able to handle a crash. So this is about 20 miles an hour, only 60% duty cycle. And let's try again. So here we go. Just cruising 20 miles an hour, and there's still just 60% duty cycle. Alright guys, so not much of a comparison, but I'll leave that to the experts, but I'll do what I can. So this is the GT, and I'm just gonna go to this little pump track on a little skateboard track. So what I'm gonna do is go slowly. So go on this line, stop. Alright, so once more, try to go up slowly. And you heard that haptic buzz. Now this is the big one, so I'll go here. Start slowly. Nope, the motor can't take it. Let's try again. And this is almost full charge, so voltage is not a problem. So start here, stand still, go slowly. Stand still, go slowly. The motor just hit saturation right here. Now let's look at the fun wheel with the Superflux HT. Alright, now on the Superflux with the high torque motor, I'm going to stop here and go really slow and effortless. Now this is the hill where the GT stopped. You can see the tire marks. So stop, same thing, go from a standstill, really slow, and doesn't even break a sweat. That was just me being lousy. Let's try again. Okay. Go here, stop, stand still, effortless. It's not even hitting 50 amps. So let's look at the app. Are you ready to go home? Yes? Alright, I'm coming. Alright, let's look at Dado's float app. Right, so see what happens when we go up the hill, how much current it's consuming, what's the duty cycle. So, alright, stand still, look at the current on the top right. About 57, 59 is the maximum I saw, so it's not even breaking a sweat. You can go up to 150 on the motor, and you can go up to 300 peak on the Thor and the motor, but there's no The motor isn't even breaking the sweat. So look at that. Effortless. Nothing even happened. And I'll let the experts do the expert comparison, and I'll just focus on making these damn motors. So thanks for sticking around. Enjoy your HTs if you order one. Hey, ready to go home? Alright, so I wanted to have some closing remarks right here. There's a lot of numbers being thrown around on Discord, on Facebook and YouTube, so you can screenshot this, and this should be, to the best of my knowledge, a very good comparison between the Superflux high-speed, Superflux high-torque motor and the one-wheel GT. So these are at a 20S battery, so 84 volt / 20S. With the settings are 280 mm tire, right? Free spin speed, as we saw, the high speed can go 40 miles an hour. The one wheel GT is 38. The high torque can go 31 miles an hour free spin, which means on the table without any load. Top speed with 30 amps field weakening of the high speed is 50 miles an hour. Of the high torque is 43. In real life, on a GT is 20 miles an hour, or 30 miles an hour if you're brave and you fight the pushback and the beeping and the buzzing. On a high torque motor, you can go 30 miles plus with a 20S battery in real life. This is not free spin speed. This is with while riding. So if you're okay with a board that goes 30 miles an hour and has insane amounts of torque, and you have a 20S battery, then the high torque is a good motor for you. So 20S or higher. If you want to break speed records, you want to go more than 40, and I mean the high speed will still be a very, very high torque motor. And if you're willing to wait until, say, first week of March when we'll get it ready, then you go for this, the high speed motor. So the point of the video was that the high torque motor is not a bad motor. It's not a slow motor. It just depends on what kind of battery setup you have. So for example, if you have an 18S battery or a 16S XR battery, then you really don't want the high torque motor. If you have a 20S plus battery, then the high torque motor will go 30 miles an hour if you do 30 amp of field weakening or 30 or more, and you should be okay. So now I want to answer some questions about shipping and about these boxes and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a separate video about boxes and about LEDs and about our foot pad. So today is the 11th of February, and as of now we have shipped a few high torque motors, but we haven't shipped the motor connectors yet. The motor connectors just crossed customs and hit our warehouse on the weekend. Tomorrow is Monday, so we are gonna all get the connectors, put in the same package as your high torque motors, and then ship the high torque motors to you. People who already received the high torque motor without the connectors will get their connectors in a separate package. All this is going to happen this week. People in Europe, the EU, the customs is delayed, so I expect that to happen around 20th of Feb, so 10 days from now. But again, we'll keep you posted, and we're doing our best. We're trying to pack them, ship them as soon as we can. We're not purposely holding your motors, but we understand this is riding season and you guys want to get your bills as soon as possible. So I understand that 100%, and we're trying to deliver the best we can, but we are constrained on resources, and being a small company, it's not easy to do that. But hey, thanks for supporting us. I'm gonna make a video tomorrow about these beautiful boxes and the production update on the boxes, followed by the foot pads, followed by the battery packs. Stay tuned.